More developments coming in from the Middle East. We're now learning that U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright has cancelled his planned visit to Israel next week due to his Israeli counterpart Eli Cohen's refusal to approve the gas export agreement with Egypt until Israel's interests are secured and a fair price for the Israeli market is agreed upon. Now, according to the reports, the U.S. administration has been pressurizing Israeli officials, including Eli Cohen and Benjamin Netanyahu, to approve the $35 billion gas export deal with Egypt. Cohen has demanded that prices for the Israeli market remain attractive. As negotiations have not yet been completed, Cohen refused to approve the export until the issue is resolved. Now, at the same time, efforts were made to resolve diplomatic issues between Israel and Egypt as well. With us on the broadcast is Mr. Yossi Kuperwasser, Israeli intelligence and security expert, joining us from Tel Aviv. Thank you so much for taking our time and speaking to us on NewsX World. At the outset, I wanted to understand from you, the prices being fair is a primary concern that Israel has. What are the other interests that Israel is looking at securing as far as this $35 billion deal is concerned?
Well, thank you for having me. First of all, we have to realize that relations between Israel and Egypt are beyond just the gas deal. The gas deal is very important. It's a huge deal, and it's going to be long-lasting. It's going to stay effective until 2040. But at the same time, we have a lot of issues between us and the Egyptians. And first of all, Gaza. The Egyptians are involved in mediating the deal and making sure that Hamas doesn't breach it, as was discussed before. And we want to make sure that they serve as promoters of the deal and not allowing Hamas to get away with all kinds of breaches of the deal that they are carrying out all the time. So this is first and foremost important between us and the Egyptians. Secondly, there's a growing deployment of Egyptian forces in the Sinai Peninsula, close to our borders, against the breach of the peace agreement. In most cases, we approved those deployments after they were already carried out. But during the war, they brought more and more troops into the Sinai Peninsula, and this is something that Israel is upset about. And we want to see it coming to an end. We don't see any justification for that. Third, there's a lot of smuggling going on along the border, including recently with drones that are crossing the wall that we have built along the border to prevent the crossing of munition and drugs, and smuggling of people, of workers. So the Egyptians don't do enough in order to prevent this smuggling, and there's an enormous amount of weapons are pouring from Egypt into Israel for criminal gangs and for terror activities. So this is another issue that stands between us and the Egyptians. And as regard to the gas deal, this is a commercial issue that has to be worked out between the parties involved. And we insist that the prices that would be agreed upon will be attractive for the party that is working on behalf of Israel.
Yes.
And some of these companies are American companies, so the U.S. knows where to point their questions about whether this deal is going to be approved or not.
Indeed. And how do you read into the U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright cancelling his visit? How do you think this would go down with the Israeli administration?
Well, I think the secretary was hoping that he would be able to witness and participate in the signature of the deal. And since it's not ready yet, he postponed it. Simultaneously, there's press reports that this is going on with, together with pressure on Israel to be more flexible when it comes to the prices. This is not going to happen in my mind, because Israel is looking for reasonable prices that are going to be justifying the deal. We are definitely in need to strengthen Egypt and to make sure they have the gas they need. But the prices that can be reduced a little bit cannot be really brought to a place that is unattractive for the company that produces the gas.
Indeed. And also considering Israel's priorities at this point, how further do you think this deal can be stretched and stalled and delayed? And what sort of trade-off in the future could Israel have to make, or would Israel even make that considering its own national priorities?
Well, I believe that eventually we shall find the price. It's commercial negotiations. Every side puts whatever it can in order to get better prices. So eventually, since this is very important strategically, I think that we shall find the appropriate price that everybody is going to be satisfied and there's going to be a deal. And at the same time, we shall explain to the Americans that in order to show more flexibility on the question of the gas prices, there's got to be a goodwill on the side of the Egyptians as well, and other issues that pertain to our national security. All those issues that I mentioned before are national security matters, and the Egyptians should show flexibility on those to encourage us to show flexibility on the gas prices.
All right, so with that, I would like to thank you for taking out time of sharing your analysis with us on NewsX World. With that, viewers, it's a wrap on Gulf Today. We will continue to track these developments very, very closely. Stay tuned for more such updates as we dip into